Not gonna lie, this is one that I actually took a lot of time trying to figure out. It looks more easy than I thought it was gonna be. So I actually have some recordings that I discarded because I spent way too much time on it, and it was just too much time fumbling around. So I decided to take my time, sleep on it, have take a good shower, things like that, and then wait for the inspiration to come. So I did come with a plan, come up with a plan. So here's the problem though. It's replace dashes as one, and the thing is that you need to remove every consecutive dashes and mark them or create just one out of them. So in this case we have 3 dashes, and they are separated by however many spaces in between. That shouldn't matter when you're trying to kind of condense them in just one. And then we have a space here, right? You can see that. And then all of these are not separated by spaces, but they should become just one. And the ones at the beginning, the beginning and the end of the string. So here's the solution. We have one here, and a space, because there's no other dash here, other character. And then we have all of these turn into just one, and so on and so forth. All right. So here are the tests, and I think up to here the tests were provided, and then I added these two. This one because I was testing something between the leading space that I should keep, because this one was giving me issues with the somewhere over here. I was removing this space with my algorithm and it didn't work. It was failing on this one test, but it was more like the fact that I had a leading space before the actual dash character here. Is that called a dash? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. Then here, this one was failing because I was somehow just removing one of these, and I would have this as an answer, as the beginning of the answer. So that wasn't the intention, right? We needed just one. So after a lot of going back and forth, I tried all the things. I tried, even regular expressions and things like that, but I just couldn't make it work, and I was getting very frustrated with this one, mainly because it did look very simple. It did look like an innocent problem that I could solve, but it ended up not being such. So that was interesting. In any case, this is my solution. Let me probably make it bigger. A couple times, just one time bigger. Okay, so the idea is that I will eventually have a result array, basically, and I will join it, right, as a string. So that's the main job of this res array. Okay, so and then I want to keep track of what is the latest position in which I had one of those characters, right? So this is basically a pointer that it's telling me, okay, so in an array like such, if you had like, I don't know, 1, 2, whatever, and then you had a dash in here and then another here and stuff like that. What I'm trying to see is whether I am trying to point at here. So I was saying here's one, and then so on and so forth, right? So I get another one here. So this little star here is the one that's being kept by the pref dash pos, so previous dash position, I guess, if that makes sense at all. Okay, so that's a pointer that's telling me where was the latest dash, and we go now into this little conditional here. where I say, okay, if while I was walking down the string that I converted into array, and I push the new value, like the very first thing I do is push it. So this will be if my string was something like, oh, sorry. If my string was something like dash 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 space, let's do the one that we had, we dash r dash space code. Let's leave it at that. Code warriors, something like that. What we're doing is we're taking the W and then taking the E and then taking the dash. Oh, come on. Taking the dash, A-R-E dash, and you can see we are always pushing those. Then what I'm trying to say is, okay, at this point you had a, let's add the star here, right? So at this point we had a star, and then once again when we hit this one. But what I'm trying to say is, so I have at this position a dash, right? The next time around, if I did have a dash, but now I have anything other than space or another dash, so I know that the character wasn't a dash because of this, and now we don't have a space there. That means I can kind of reset or remove that pointer. So at this point, it actually looks like this because I have the pointer at this dash here. And then for the next few, like iterations on the string, then I will be getting new stuff, right? So at this point, I already have a character which is not a space or a dash. So I remove that and go here, and so on and so forth, right? So that's what the conditions here make happen. So keep track of the latest position of a dash that I had. When I do have a position, so when the position isn't null, but then I also have a dash, like a previous dash, this is what it means. I had a previous dash and I am getting a new one. So let's say instead of a C there, I had, you know, the one with different dashes. Now I am at this position where I have a dash, and then I say, well, okay, hold on. I would be here, right? So now I got a dash and I have a previous dash position. And then I say, okay, so I do need now to get in here. I need to remove stuff before I move on. So what I do is I go to the very end of my resulting array, which in this case would be looking something like we are like so. I'm at this point right now. And I would say, okay, go to that position. Let's mark that with this guy here. And then work your way down up until you find the marker, right? The star up there. When you do that, then create another, or rather, like start popping the characters. So this string would become, let's do this here, and then this string would become, okay, not this one, right? And then while I'm popping out the characters, I will arrive at that one position, which position I'm going to mark as the new star, which effectively at this point is the same. I'm kind of realizing stuff here. At this point is the same, and then I can continue pushing new stuff. So every time that happens, this loop repeats, and then I will remain here as the latest dash position, right? Previous dash. This is a mouthful. Previous dash position, I'm going to get in there with this loop over here and making sure that I actually have one. What clears or resets my flag here or my pointer is what I mentioned before, that whenever I had one and then I get a character which is basically an numeric, we could say, one of these, which is not either a dash or a space, then I kind of reset the pointer. So that means that I won't be entering this loop here, and I won't be removing stuff. All right, so I hope that makes sense. It was like in my mind in a lot of different ways, and I would be, working on the thing from very, very different angles and trying to do different things, different stuff, and it didn't work. I ended up coming up with this, which I think is not too bad. Hopefully there's some more clever solutions, and I think there will be, but this got in my head, and I couldn't really get it done before. So yeah, I finally made it happen. So if I attempt this, it will say that every single test case passed, 100 random ones. Yeah, so let's see. This is a moment of truth because I'm going to see what other solutions were there. Yeah, you see, we have regular expression that I couldn't make it happen. Let's see. So, okay. So we could potentially or not have more dashes and spaces right after we have a dash. And then we could have another one. When we find that, then just replace it with a single dash. So this doesn't look a lot like I was attempting the regular expression that I tried, but it makes a little bit of sense. So this would be the quickest way, and you could have figured it out in, I don't know, 2 minutes or something if your regular expression foo was strong. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of had the intuition that a regular expression would do. I just couldn't make it work. Cool. Okay. Same thing with regular expressions. So this one looks a little bit closer to what I was attempting, I think, which is interesting. But I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't exactly like that either. Cool. We have another one using regular expressions, which I think, it's okay. It's what solves the problem. But I think the objective here was to kind of develop the algorithm or something. So I kind of went into that instead of trying to research more into regular expressions and get what I was trying to do. Probably using something like ChatGPT or something would have given me the regular expression. But anyway. Okay, this is, let me look at it a little bit and I'll tell you if I actually understand what's going on. So we need a regular expression here. And we are removing every space at the beginning and the end of the set. Can you do that? And then splitting it again in dashes. So that gave us another array, which is in this case called string, but this actually will create an array, right? No? What am I missing? That's interesting. I'll look into this. In any case, we are removing spaces in between and then gluing them again together if we actually have like another character, which is not a space, I think. And then a bunch of conditionals to check if the preview or the very last value in the string is a dash. Yeah, I don't know. I would need to look further into this. I don't want to bore you with, me trying to understand. But this is at the very least interesting. Some more regular expressions. This I think looks a little bit closer to what I was trying to do. Well, no, this is actually like the first one, maybe. Very close to that. This one might look a little bit closer to what I was trying to do. Oh, and I left all my comments, of course. So, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get any comments or something at any point. But my solution appeared here. So, and this hadn't happened before. So, that's cool. Yeah. So this idea of using regular expression is very cool, I would say. So I like this exercise because this is actually something that you could potentially encounter when you're developing stuff. So this is why I was so insistent in my head. I got hooked to this problem because I think I've seen this kind of thing before, and it's probably the way I would do it with a regular expression. But I also wanted to figure out if I actually could make it work with an algorithm that walked down the array and things like that. So having the pointers and things like that is a cool exercise as well. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you on the next attempt of ad solving stuff. Thanks. Bye.